Hello all, how are you? Yes, welcome to our science class. Today we are going to learn about an interesting chapter. Okay, open your textbook at page number 183. Chapter number 12, Light, Shadows and Reflection. Shall we start the topic? Yes. Yes children, let us start with the mind map for this chapter. Light, shadow and reflection. So, what do you mean by light? We can see all the objects only through light. Is it not? Yes. Light is an electromagnetic wave that we can detect. Okay. And then here we are going to learn about three different things, that is transparent, translucent and opaque. Transparent, translucent and opaque. So what do you mean by transparent? Materials through which light can pass completely. Materials or objects through which light can pass completely is said to be as transparent. Clear? Yes. Then about translucent. So what do you mean by translucent? Materials through which light can propagate partially is said to be as translucent. And third is opaque. Third one is opaque. What is that? Materials through which light cannot propagate. It cannot propagate is said to be as opaque. So we are going to learn about all these three characters in detail with examples. Okay. And then second part of this chapter is about eclipses. So what do you mean by eclipses? It's nothing but the shadow. Okay. Shadows formed in nature is said to be as eclipses. So there are two different types of eclipses. What is that? Solar and lunar. So, as you all know, sun is the ultimate source of light, is it not? Yes. So, and then earth revolves around the sun and moon comes in between sun and earth, is it not? Yes. Now, about solar eclipse. What is the solar eclipse? Here you can see sun, moon and earth, is it not? So, I have written in short S, M and E. S for sun, M for moon and E for earth. Okay. So, all these three will be in straight line. Okay. And here the sun, moon and earth are in straight line, where the moon shows its shadow on the earth. When the moon is coming in between sun and earth, and when the moon casts or it shows its shadow on the earth, that is said to be as solar eclipse. Clear children? Yes. Now the next part is about lunar eclipse. What is that? Lunar eclipse. So what do you mean by lunar eclipse? You can see this picture, sun, earth and moon, is it not? So here earth is between sun and moon. Earth is between sun and moon, where earth shows its shadow on moon. Earth shows its shadow on moon. So this is what about lunar eclipse. So we are going to learn all these things in detail. Yes children, let us start the chapter. So we are able to see the beautiful world around us because of light. Okay, so we are able to see the object only because of light. The beauty of nature, blue color of the sky, red color of the sunrise and sunset, rainbow, sparkling diamonds and pearls, everything we are able to see only because of light. Okay, and then light is an electromagnetic wave. What is that? It is an electromagnetic wave that we can detect. Okay, light is invisible form of energy. Light is invisible form of energy. We are seeing all the objects only because of the presence of the light, only with the presence of light, but still it is an invisible object. Okay, invisible form of energy, invisible form of energy, which causes in us a sensation of vision. Clear? Yes. Then light is a form of energy, is it not? Light is one form of energy. When we light an electric bulb, when we are just switching on an electric bulb, the filament of the bulb first gives out heat. What happens first? The filament of the bulb first gives out heat. Then it becomes dull red. It becomes dull red and then gives reddish light, and then gives reddish light. So what happens? First you're getting heat and then it becomes dull red and then it gives reddish light. So after that it becomes white hot and emits heat and white light. Then it's give you white light. Okay, it becomes white hot and emits heat and white light. Clear? It does not need any material medium. Light does not need any material medium. It can even travel through a vacuum. It can even travel through a vacuum. Clear? Then the vast space between the sun and the earth is mostly a vacuum. I repeat, the vast space between the sun and the earth is mostly a vacuum. Clear? Still, light from the sun is able to travel through space before entering Earth's atmosphere. Light from the sun is able to travel through space. Light which is coming out from the sun is traveling through space before entering Earth's atmosphere. Can you understand? Before entering Earth's atmosphere, light travels along a straight line. So how it travels? How it reaches from the sun to the earth? It reaches through a straight line path with a constant speed of 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second in vacuum. I repeat, light travels along a straight line path. It is traveling from the sun to the earth, is it not? It travels along a straight line path with a constant speed of 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second in vacuum. Clear? Then nothing in universe can travel faster than or even as fast as light. So it is fast, it's traveling fast. Nothing in universe can travel faster than or even as fast as light. Then even at this enormous speed, it takes approximately 8 minutes 32 seconds for the light from the sun to reach earth. So from the sun to reach earth, it takes approximately 8 minutes 32 seconds. Yes children, now let us learn about importance of sunlight. Okay, so importance of light. Light is essential for the existence of life, is it not? To survive we need light, we need to see object. So that is possible by the light, is it not? Yes, light is essential for the existence of life. Then the natural warmth of sunlight creates conditions conducive for the growth and development of life. I repeat, the natural warmth of sunlight creates conditions which is suitable for growth and development of life. Clear children? Yes. Then it is the main source of energy. Which one? Light. Light is the main source of energy for animals and plants. For animals and plants. Then without sunlight, the process of photosynthesis. What do you mean by photosynthesis? Plants prepare food by a process said to be as photosynthesis. So without sunlight, the process of photosynthesis will not take place. Is it not? Yes. And then most plant species will not exist. So without food, it won't exist. Do you know what is the color of the light? Yes. Natural light is white in color. Is it not? Natural light, which is white light, is actually composed of different colors. It is composed of different colors. So different objects absorb certain color of light and reflect others. I repeat, different objects absorb certain color of light and reflect others. The reflected color decides the color of the object. So what is happening? Different object absorb certain color of light and it reflect others. Okay, it is absorbing some colors and it reflects others. So the reflected color decides the color of the object. Say for an example, grass. It looks green. It looks green because it absorbs all color except green. It is absorbing all color except green. It reflects back the green color. That's why it's looking green. Can you understand? Yes. So this green color is received by our eyes. Okay. So grass looks green. Clear? Then next thing is about sources of light. Sources of light. We are receiving light from different sources. So what are the different sources? We are going to learn. Then a source of light is an object from which light is coming out. So what do you mean by source of light? From wherever light is coming out, that is said to be as source of light. Clear? Yes. The sun, stars and fireflies are natural sources of light. They are natural sources. We don't want to make anything. Is that not? Sun, stars and fireflies are natural sources. Then a torch, electric bulb, an electric bulb, a lighted candle and a burning oil lamp. All these are, what are these? A torch, an electric bulb, a lighted candle, a burning oil lamp. Everything are examples of artificial source of light. Artificial source of light. So two things we have learned: natural sources of light and artificial sources of light. Then next thing, the kind of sources of light which first becomes hot and then emit light. First becomes hot and then it gives out light. That is said to be as hot sources of light. What is that? Hot sources of light. For example, a bulb or a candle light. A bulb or a candle light. Then the next part, that is cold sources of light. What is that? The sources emit light with the temperature not getting higher than the environment temperature is said to be as cold sources of light. The sources which emit light where the temperature not getting higher than the environment temperature is said to be as cold source of light. Example for cold source of light: LED, fluorescent light and fireflies. Clear? Yes. So as of now we have learned 4 different sources of light. What are they? Natural, artificial, and then hot sources of light, and then cold sources of light. Clear, children? Then a natural phenomenon in which living organisms are seen to emit light from their body. Light from their body, which gives light from their body, is said to be as bioluminescence. What is that? Bioluminescence. Okay, for example, fireflies, glowworms and certain aquatic animals, algae, jellyfish and all. All these things are known to exhibit bioluminescence property. Clear? Yes. So this is what about bioluminescence. Then the object that produce their own light. The object that produce their own light is said to be as luminous object. For example, an electric bulb, a torch, a candle flame, sun and stars are all examples for luminous object. Then the object that do not produce their own light, is said to be as non-luminous object. Non-luminous object. For example, table, trees, book, chair, moon, earth and other plants. Okay, I repeat, table, trees, book, chair, moon, earth and other plants. Okay, then next thing is about three main properties, that is transparent, translucent and opaque. So let us learn about that. A substance through which light propagate will act as a medium. Is it not? A substance through which light propagates, which passes, will act as a medium. So how light is passing through the medium, based on that it is classified into three different types, that is transparent, translucent and opaque. Clear? So let us learn about that. Some objects allow light to pass through them, whereas some objects block it completely. Is it not? Some objects will allow light, some objects will not allow, or it will block completely. Materials through which light can pass completely, is said to be as transparent material. For example, air, water and glass, and so many are there. Air, water, glass, so many are there. Clear? Then material through which light can propagate partially, is said to be as translucent material. What is that? Translucent material. For example, frosted glass and butter paper. Clear? Then third classification, that is materials through which light cannot propagate, is said to be as opaque. Where it cannot enter through the medium is said to be as opaque. So for example, wall, wood and stone. What is that? Wall, wood and stone, where light cannot enter. Clear? So as of now we have learned three different things: transparent, translucent and opaque. So transparent is nothing but where light can pass completely. Translucent is nothing but where light can pass partially. And opaque is nothing but light cannot pass through the medium. Light cannot propagate or pass through the medium. Clear, children? Yes. Next part of the chapter is about light travels in straight line. We are going to learn about that. When we shine in dark room, the beam of light travels in a straight line. The beam of light travels in a straight line in darkness. I repeat, when we shine in dark room, so without light, when we are just shining anything, some light with torch, then the beam of light travels in a straight line in darkness. Yes, children. Now, the property of light, that it travels in a straight line. The property of light, when it travels in a straight line, is said to be as rectilinear propagation of light. What is that? Rectilinear propagation of light. Then light travels in a straight line. How it travels? Light travels in a straight line. We represent the path traveled by light in a straight line with the help of ray of light. You can see here the picture for a ray of light. So light travels through a straight line. So that is represented by a ray of light. Ray of light. Clear? Yes. Next thing is about a narrow group of light rays. A narrow group of light rays is said to be as beam. What is that? Beam. What is this? A beam of parallel rays of light. You can see here, parallel rays of light is said to be as a beam of parallel rays of light. Group of light rays is said to be as beam. Clear? Yes. Next thing, in a beam of light from a small source, where from a small source the rays are moving away from each other. So from a source, when the rays are moving away from each other, from a light source, common light source, when the rays are moving away from each other, then that is said to be as divergent rays. What is that? Divergent rays. Then, in a beam of light from a very large source located far away, rays of light are taken as parallel to each other. So, light is somewhere far away. So, the rays of light are taken from here, from different sources. They are taken here, and then they are reaching a common point. They are reaching a common point that is said to be as convergent rays. Convergent light or convergent rays. In a beam of light from a very large source located far away, rays of light are taken as parallel to each other. They are taken as parallel to each other when the rays of light meet at a common point. When it meet at a common point, then that is said to be as convergent rays. Clear, children? So as of now, we have learned 4 things: a ray of light, then a beam of parallel rays of light, then a divergent beam of light, and then a convergent beam of light. Clear, children? Yes. Now, let us learn about the next part, that is shadow. What is that? Shadow. What do you mean by shadow? The dark patch obtained on the screen. The dark patch obtained on the screen. Is it not? We all can see our own shadow. Is it not? Yes. So, the dark patch obtained on the screen by an opaque object. By an opaque object. What do you mean by the word opaque? Which does not allow light to pass to it. Is it not? So, when you are getting this dark patch from the opaque object, when it is placed in the path of source of light, when this opaque object is placed on the path of the source of light, light should fall on the opaque object. So, from that you are getting a dark patch. Dark patch. So, that is what said to be as shadow. Clear, children? Can you understand? Yes. Now, the opaque object that does not allow light to pass through it. First condition, you all know, opaque object is nothing but which does not allow light to pass through it. Is it not? Yes. Second thing is, there must be a source of light. So, you should get the light from somewhere. It might be natural or artificial. That is sun or a bulb. Okay. So, from somewhere you should get the light. Second, there must be a source of light. Clear? Then, third, there must be an opaque screen. There must be a screen, okay, where the shadow is obtained. So, you can see the shadow only on the screen. So, screen is also important. 3 things: it should be opaque, you should get the light, and then a screen should be there. A screen should be there. So, with this all condition, the shadow is obtained. Shadow is obtained. Clear, children? Yes. Then, let us learn about nature of shadow. Nature of shadow. A shadow is divided into 2 regions. What is that? It is divided into 2 regions. What are they? Umbra and penumbra. Okay, so what do you mean by this umbra? It is the central and darkest part of the shadow where no light reaches. Okay, it's a central and the core part of the shadow is said to be as umbra. Okay, then the second classification, that is penumbra. What is that? Penumbra. So what do you mean by this? It is a part of shadow that receives some amount of light. It's not exact center, but it is surrounding the center and it also receives the light. Okay, then it shows a faint shadow. It shows or it casts a faint shadow. It lies around the umbra. This penumbra shows a faint shadow and it lies around the umbra. Okay, around the umbra, which is surrounding the center part, is said to be as penumbra. Then, when an object blocks the light completely, it shows a dark and sharp shadow on the screen. Okay, so when it just blocked the light completely, it is showing the shadow on the screen. In this situation, only the umbra is formed. Only in this situation, the umbra is formed. So that's what about umbra and penumbra. Yes, children, now let us learn about characteristics of a shadow. Okay, so here what are the different characters of a shadow? An opaque screen or surface is required for the shadow to form. So what do you need? You need an opaque screen or a surface is required here for getting the shadow. Okay, and then in the absence of screen, no shadow will be seen. So you need here screen. Then, irrespective of the color of the object, the shadow is always black. So the original object might be of any color, but still, irrespective of the color of the original object, the shadow is always black. Then, a shadow shows only the outline or shape of the object. It shows only the outline or shape of the object. It does not give in detail and not the details. Okay, not the details. Then a small object will have small shadow. Small object will have small shadow, and a large object will have large shadow. Okay, these are all different characteristics of a shadow. Yes, children, now let us learn the characteristics of shadow by doing one activity. Now, can you all see? I am just showing a duster. You can see the shadow of a duster. Is it not? Yes. Now, I am just showing you a shadow of water bottle. Shadow of water bottle. Can you see? It's a black image. Yes. Now I am going to show you the shadow of a stone. Can you see? Yes. Now I am going to show you the shadow of a doll. Is it not? Yes. So what we have learned by seeing this shadow, irrespective of the color of the object, the shadow is always black. The object might be of different color, but still always the shadow is black. Is it not? Yes, it's a black image. Then a shadow shows only the outline or shape of the object. Can you see? We can see the outline only. We cannot see the detailed information about the object. Is it not? Yes. Then a small object will have a small shadow. Is it not? The duster shadow was very small. Then a large object will have a large shadow. Is it not? Yes. Yes, children. Now let us learn about eclipses. What do you mean by eclipse? Here they are the shadows formed in nature. What is that? They are the shadows formed in nature. So there are two different types of eclipse, solar and lunar. Now first let us learn about solar eclipse. So what do you mean by solar eclipse? Sun provides us light. As you all know, sun is the ultimate source of light. Then the earth revolves around the sun. The earth revolves around the sun and the moon revolves around the earth. The moon revolves around the earth, and then the moon comes in between the sun and earth. The moon comes in between sun and earth. So here I mentioned, yes, the letter S denotes sun, letter M denotes moon, and the letter E denotes earth. Clear? So here sun, moon and earth all together will be lying in a straight line. If the sun, moon and earth are in straight line, the moon blocks the light of the sun from reaching earth. Clear? Then the moon shows its shadow on the earth. The moon shows its shadow on the earth. This phenomenon is known as solar eclipse. This phenomenon is known as solar eclipse. During solar eclipse, the dark side of the moon is towards us. The dark side of the moon is towards us, facing earth, which happens on a new moon day. Clear? Thus, a solar eclipse always occurs on a new moon day. So, solar eclipse is nothing but all these things: sun, moon and earth is in a straight line, and the moon blocks the light of the sun which is falling to the earth. It blocks the light, and that's why it's said to be as solar eclipse. Clear? Yes. Then next thing is about lunar eclipse. What is that? Lunar eclipse. So on February 1st, 2018, you all had noticed that it is lunar eclipse. Okay, on full moon day, the earth is between the sun and the moon. Here what happens? The same thing. S denotes sun, M denotes moon and E denotes earth. Okay, so here the earth is between the sun and the moon. Earth is between sun and the moon. If they happen to align in a straight line, the earth casts its shadow on the moon. What it will do? The earth casts its shadow on the moon. So this phenomenon is said to be as lunar eclipse. Clear, children? Here also three things are in straight line: sun, earth and moon. And what will happen? The earth casts its shadow on the moon. This phenomenon is said to be as lunar eclipse. So this is what about solar and lunar eclipse. Yes, children, now let us learn about reflection. What is that? Reflection. So for that, I am going to show you a plain mirror. Okay, and then I am going to show you a torchlight. I am going to show you a torchlight. Okay, so here what I am going to do, I am going to show light on the plain mirror. Can you see? Yes. Now light is falling on the mirror. Is it not? Yes. It gets bounce off. Then it changes its direction. The mirror receives the light and then it changes the direction of light. That's what reflection. To make you to understand, I am just going to move slightly this side to show you the reflected image of light. As such, I am just going to move slightly this side. Can you see? Yes. Now I am just passing the light to the mirror. Then the mirror receives the light and then it changes the direction of light and it is passed in the another direction. That's what reflection. Once again I repeat, when light is shown on the mirror, the light will bounce off. First it will bounce off and it changes the direction of the light on striking the mirror. This is what reflection. Yes, children, now as I showed, the plane mirror reflects most of the light that falls on it. What it will do? That reflects most of the light that falls on it. So when light from an object falls on a plane mirror, it is reflected away. It is reflected. Clear, children? So this is what about reflection. Reflection of light. Yes, children. And this bouncing off and change in direction of light striking on a plane mirror is said to be as reflection. Is said to be as reflection. The image we see of ourselves in a mirror is formed in the same way. Is formed in the same way. The surface of clear water also behaves like a mirror. The surface of clear water also behaves like a mirror. How? We sometimes see reflection of trees, buildings, hills and other objects in lake or pond water. Is it not? So clear water also behaves like a mirror. Next thing is about difference between image and shadow. Difference between image and shadow. Okay. Then image. Image is formed due to reflection of light. What is that? It is formed due to reflection of light. Whereas shadow is formed due to absence of light. Shadow is formed due to absence of light. Image shows all the details of an object including its color. I repeat, image shows all the detail of an object including its color, whereas shadow is always black. Shadow is always black and it shows only the outline of the object. It shows only the outline of the object. Clear, children? So this is what the difference between image and shadow. Yes, children. Now an activity for you all. So as I did for reflection, you also do the same. Take any object. It might be small or large. Take any object. Do the same thing and just compare between your image and your shadow and compare the results. Take a photocopy and forward in your class email ID. So that's what about your activity. So children, with this we have come to an end of this chapter. So after watching the video, read the chapter thoroughly so that you can understand well. Clear? Yes. So let us meet in the next class. Thank you all.